Uh, Look at that ugly ass picture. Let me take that off the screen. It told me it was not going to be on there, but here we go. I'm trying to take it off. What is happening? There we go. Now you can look at my really ugly ass face. Welcome to another edition, and it's not early evening sports buffet with the Grinch, by the way. I'm having computer issues today. It is student body rights, all things college football. Thanks for tuning in here on the Cole County Entertainment Network. Hoping to have JARROD PRUGAR on. Covers Penn State football. Pick his brain about the Matt Campbell era kicking off. What we can expect. I think they had their blue-white game. I don't know what college programs have or don't have their spring games anymore because it's constantly changing. But hopefully I will have him on. He'll pop in. So let's go to some college football news. Fortunately, I never like to see some stuff like this. And actually, before I get to that, he just popped in. Before I bring him on, though, it would be at JPruger26 on the Twitter machine. Coach, writer, difference maker. I'm reading this off the X. Covers Penn State football and basketball for at Nittany SN Sporting News, I guess. I guess that's what that is. And at Altoona Kerr for at Altoona Mirror, PA. He's also a member of the Football Writers Association of America. Let's bring him on. There he is, ladies and gentlemen, JARROD PRUGAR.
Thanks for having me. I apologize for all the background noise. I couldn't find my headphones before I came on with you, but I appreciate you having me, and I look forward to talking some football with you.
So, obviously, out with James Franklin, in with Matt Campbell, which I guess is what Penn State fans maybe were hoping for. I don't know. You have the pulse of the fandom up there. But look, out with the old, in with the new. I'm sure that the higher-ups at Penn State are expecting Matt Campbell to consistently beat Michigan, consistently beat Ohio State, challenge for Big Ten titles. And now we may not even have a conference championship game anymore, which I'm all for. But post-spring, where are we at? I know we brought Rocco Becht over. He brought a lot of transfers over. So post-spring, how's this team looking?
No, that's the part. It's just there's so many on the team because of coach, the leading overhaul, the coach staff, and so many you just don't know now. You get the experienced guys, and it's a really good mix. It had some significant, like back, I say, and some of the guys that came back for Penn State as well. So I mean, I think it's a really good mix of guys that has the potential to have some success. Their schedule isn't anything that's going to be overbearing. I think they avoid Ohio State this year, which is always a tremendous opportunity for them. But the expectation is to compete for that national championship every year, and to do that, you have to win your big games. And the way the Big Ten is set up, you don't have that opportunity to beat Ohio State and Michigan every year, which is a good thing. And we thought that at times that would be good, especially last year but Franklin's. I know I talked to you. I thought they were a competitor for the national title, and that went out the wayside, really quickly. And it'll be interesting to see what happens. But you talked about the pulse of the fan, and I think a lot of people are very happy that James Franklin is gone. The fact that they were able to hit a home run hire, I think, in Matt Campbell is a really good backup plan, and for when you have a couple plans fall through, and on the flip side.
You and I know look, fans will expect results right away because they're going to look at a program like Indiana and say, well, if they can do it there, why can't we do it here? You know how fans are. They will expect immediate results. So if you are trying to talk Penn State fans off the ledge in year one, saying, look, going to have to bring some other guys into his program, are we talking, are they going to be patient for 2 years, or do they have to be patient for 3 years?
I would thing about it is for 2 years. This is a team, and you remember the end, how quick we were able to get it. The portal helps now things immediately. I don't know what's going to on the field. It's very obvious throughout off the NFL field, which is only a good thing for him. But that's a quarterback. Ethan Grunkham up out of attack. Frank, so there's several opportunities, but it's a lot of them. He just has this is probably the least stable program has been. Frank, obviously with Brian, glad Franklin won, but here there's a lot of as far as the coach and the back is back. He's there. It's level. So expect can and win now mode, but I would say the will probably wear off 3, depending on the least to that. I can't.
I don't know if it's on your end or my end, but the mic keeps cutting in and out. So I don't know if there's something going on with my speaker or your mic. I don't know, but anywho, so look, Drew Aller got hurt early last season, which was a big blow. I'm not saying that their season could have turned around, that they were going to make a college football playoff or anything, but what does Rocco Becht and Matt Campbell's offense bring to this Penn State football team that they haven't had in like maybe the past 3 or 5 years?
Dual threat. I think Becht has a tremendous chance to be physical with the football, both in the air and on the ground. But the biggest thing is stability, because he's been in this system. You have a brand new coach, and he's able to bring his quarterbacks with them because they do have the backup. So I mean, that aspect of it is I think probably the unsung part of it. But his stability and his ability to the knowledge of the offense already is going to make that transition that much smoother and should help out. I don't know that how much success they have under Aller last year, even with the injury, given the way that things ended for him. But it is kind of the way that it is, and obviously that developed Grunkemeyer for what he's going to do at Virginia Tech. But now this is a good opportunity to finally have a physical presence at quarterback, the threat to run the ball. And get the ball to the open receivers down the field, which is something that Franklin was always afraid to do.
Talk to me about the depth on the team. How is their depth looking at every position?
That's again, it's funny. I keep going back to that uncertainty, and I feel like I'm not doing a lot of research, but there's a lot of research to have. I think defensive line and linebacker are pretty solid. Secondary should be pretty good as well. They got some good guys from Iowa State, and they got some really good returners. Offensively, I mean, they overhauled their position groups at wide receiver, tight or a little bit of tight end and running back, and then obviously the quarterback room. So, the depth is good. Is how quality is that depth? Offensive line, they lost some guys there to graduation, but now it's a brand new group, brand new coaching staff. Can they develop that depth and make that more quality? And we're going to find out rather quickly. The spring game, typically we see at least a little bit of playing and things like that. But now it's a little different because it was just a practice, and there's only so much you can take from a glorified scrimmage.
Talk to me about them bringing Matt Campbell over, because all I heard was, well, he had success at Iowa State without the resources. I was one of the people who pushed back and said, for all talk about Iowa State preseason, even for like the last 5 years, I thought maybe they underachieved. What can he possibly accomplish at Penn State with the resources that he has here that he couldn't at Iowa State?
That's the thing. They have resources and money, and that's the biggest thing they have to compete. They have an athletic director that is success craved, who is competitive fire. I mean, there's a lot of overhauling the athletic department under Pat Kraft. So I mean, they got not brand new stadium, but some renovations they need to pay for. So he's going to be aggressive, but he's got plenty of resources and money. Finally, facilities. Anything you could ask for that he didn't have at Penn State or Iowa State, he has at Penn State. So with those resources, I think Penn State is going to be a contender for the Big Ten championship year in and year out. If they stay at 12, I think they end up in the playoff more often than not. If they stay at 24, they will definitely be in the playoff or whatever. But he brings that bona fide culture over from Iowa State, where he won with less. Now the pressure at Penn State is going to be far greater than it ever was in Ames, Iowa. But this is a guy that so far has said everything right. He's doing the right things, saying the right things. He's involving the right people in the program, getting them back in the fold with the Letterman and the guys that have meant a lot to the program over the years. So it'll be interesting to see if that continues. But everything right now he's doing is right, and probably the antithesis of how James Franklin did things. And I think that's a nice breath of fresh air for many around the program.
So I know it's only May. We're 3.5 months out till Labor Day weekend, but I'm going over the schedule here again. Opening weekend, it's Marshall, then Temple, then Buffalo. I expect them to be 3-0 after the first 3 weeks.
Pressure might get ramped up.
Then they play Wisconsin, but they get them at home. I'm expecting a W there. Then they go to Northwestern, which is always tough. I don't know what it is about Northwestern, but it's always
that game's a Friday night game too, I think.
Yeah. Let's see what else. Then they have to go to they get USC at home. I expect that to be a whiteout game. I've got that one circled. Then they have to go to Michigan, so back-to-back toughies. Then they get Purdue. Then they got to go all the way out to Seattle. Then they get Minnesota at home. Minnesota's always a tough out. They're home against Rutgers, and then they have to go on the road at Maryland. So the USC game and the Michigan game, and maybe even the Washington game, Jared, I have circled that could make or break their year.
Without a doubt. I said they could go 11-1, 12-0 last year, and I ate my crow there really, really quickly with the way that things went. And I think the biggest thing was James Franklin got so far off schedule with how he handled things previously. It was a completely different team and organization, really, from what they've been before. Can Matt Campbell change that up? I don't know, but I mean that's a very favorable schedule. Again, 9-3 would be the worst case scenario. Anything other than that is doomsday. But anything better than that, I think you're very happy. 10-2, 11-1. Who knows what Michigan's going to be like under Kyle Whittingham. That Northwestern game is a trap game. It's I think the first home game at Ryan Field on a Friday night. So there's that as well. USC is a toss-up. Wisconsin is tough. But, I mean, Washington, you never know what you're going to get there. And I think that one's at Washington. So that's the long trip. Who knows what's going to happen there. But I think realistically 10-2, 9-3 is where you're looking at schedule-wise. And I think that could get them on the outside looking into the college football playoff.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Jared Pruger. He covers Penn State football and basketball. I'll be having my 3rd annual college football preseason show. That'll either be in late August or September. Jared, I will have you on to talk about Penn State. We'll get even more in depth. But until then, enjoy your summer, my friend.
Thank you for having me as always. I apologize for all the noise, but we'll catch up again later this summer, and I look forward to it.
All right, my man. Have a good one.
Thanks. You too, brother.
All right, man. Jared Pruger, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I mean, USC under Lincoln Riley, they still have to prove it to me. They haven't done dick. They haven't done diddly shit since Lincoln Riley's been there. And until they can prove it to me on the field, forget it. Even when Caleb Williams was there, his senior year, he started off the season 5-0, and then they shit the bed. So I'm really not putting any faith or stock in the USC. People say, "Oh, watch out for USC this year." Get out of here. Stop with that nonsense. But news and notes from around the world of college football, unfortunately, reported by Andrea Espen. Clemson defensive tackle Heaven Brown Schuler. He will miss the 2026 season. He has been diagnosed with Hodgkin lymphoma. In a statement, Brown Schuler said doctors discovered a mass in his chest, leading to the diagnosis. But he did add that the prognosis is very good. So he hopes to be back for the 2027 season. Thoughts and prayers out to him and his family and his friends that he can make a speedy recovery. So reported by the Associated Press, the NAACP is urging athletes and fans to boycott over voting rights. They're calling on Black athletes and fans to boycott the athletic programs of public universities in states that are taking steps that the nation's oldest civil rights group says are restricting Black voting rights. Launched today, the Out of Bounds campaign urges prospective Black athletes, their families, alumni, and fans to withhold athletic and financial support from major public universities and states that have moved to limit, weaken, or erase Black voting representation. I sort of figured that this was going to come about. Look, Washington, D.C. and across this country, right now we're in a state of fuck them, I call it. It's not oblivion. It's not the end of the earth. But this country and the world is in a state of fuck them, I call it. As I said before, USC, Lincoln Riley says he's confident USC is ready for the college football playoff run. Whatever. I went over the Brendan Sorsby shit yesterday. Dan Lanning, University of Oregon head coach, he's in favor of the 2014 college football playoff. He said it would be great for college football, reported by Adam Rittenberg, ESPN. He said, it's debatable whether it's best for Ohio State. You can go back and forth on that, but it's certainly best for the conference and great for college football in general. That comes from actually Ohio State's coach, Ryan Day. We're trying to look over where Lanning quoted here. Coach Lanning said Ryan's in the same similar situation as Coach Signetti as well. Similar situation. Is it necessarily best for the programs that have been into say, hey, let's invite more? No, but it's better. What's happened because of the college football playoff is every bowl game has been devalued, which I agree. The end of the season looks completely different. You're a failure as a coach if you don't make it to the college football playoff. I think 16 would be perfect. 16 playoff teams would be fantastic. But again, I don't like automatic bid shit. I said this for years. Get rid of the AP poll. Get rid of the coaches poll. Get rid of all that shit. There's no rankings. None. Again, college or the public, all the publications, they come out with their preseason college football special XYZ. Their college football's great. No AP, no coaches poll, no rankings. Just let the season play out. And then let the committee pick the 16 best teams. And there you have it. And I don't like buys either. You don't see in the March Madness where teams get buys. You don't see that shit. No. You pick the 16 best teams. One plays 16, two plays 15, etc., etc., etc. They can do it. They can do it. I don't want to hear that they can't. If they can incorporate NIL, they can incorporate fucking the transfer portal. They can do a 16-team college playoff and figure it out. And hey, here you go. Use 8 of the most popular bowl games to play the first 8 games. And again, some of this other stuff I have been through. Going to be a short show. Again, thanks for JARROD PRUGAR. ESPN's Pete Thamel came out with a article today on their website. Is big budget spending sustainable in college sports? I don't know. Again, people that I talk to, even fans of the local cigar lounge that I frequently visit, the Leaf and Bean Cigar Lounge, over there in Florence, New Jersey. I get in arguments with people like this all the time. Is it sustainable? I don't know. But I was in agreement with Jay Billis yesterday where if you come to said school and you sign an NIL deal contract, let's just say 3 years, let's just say $3 million. So they're getting $1 million a year. You've got to fulfill your contract. And if you break said contract after the second year and you go somewhere else for your third year, that contract is now null and void. Should there be a salary cap? That's probably where we're headed. Because the blue bloods and the big programs are going to continue to spend astronomical amounts of money to put together a fantastic team. Texas Tech, $25 million last year, made the college football playoffs. So you will see bigger donors, bigger alumni. Hell, T. Boone Pickens, the estate, they're billionaires. Why couldn't they just come in and say, we're going to give $1 billion to your program? We're going to give $1 billion. Hey, the T. Boone Pickens Stadium, imagine what that costs. So there's going to be some donor out there and you're going to see it at some point in Ohio State and Michigan, where there's going to be some anonymous donor that's going to sink $1 billion into the program. That's where we're headed. But other than that, I don't see any major news other than what I've discussed. For a little bit there, I was going over the schedules for each conference. Haven't done it in a while. I think everybody should have their schedule sort of set. Let's see, where do we want to go? Just for shits and giggles. Okay, here we go. Let me go to the Mountain West. Usually the first week, it's usually all out of conference. And most of the games are. UNLV and Memphis will be a good out of conference game. Excuse me. Iowa and Northern Illinois. And I don't even think this is the Mountain West. Oh, yeah, it is. Northern Illinois is now in the Mountain West. I forgot. Colorado State and Wyoming, interesting one. Hawaii and UNLV. Week number 2, again, a lot of non-conference stuff. For the Mountain West. Did I mention it's hotter than shit here in the Northeast? This is like end of July, beginning of August weather, and it's unbearable. Week number 2, UNLV and North Texas play. So that's a big one. It's the only one, though. Week number 3. Oops. Week number 3 in the Mountain West. And of course, now my laptop's all over the place. Just a second here. Like I said, week number 3. And of course, now my laptop's acting up. Oh, here we go. A lot of out of conference stuff again. Week number 4. Air Force in Nevada will be a nice one. Week number 5 in the Mountain West. Air Force and Navy, part of the Commander in Chiefs. Wyoming and North Dakota State. North Dakota State obviously jumping up to Division 1. I still call it Division 1, by the way. Week number 6. Again, there's still a lot of non-conference. Air Force in Northern Illinois will be an interesting one there. North Dakota State at UNLV. These are just games that I think will shape the conference. Week number 7. Northern Illinois at Wyoming. UNLV at Air Force. A lot of people will probably be picking UNLV to win this conference as currently constructed. Week number 8. Air Force in Wyoming. Air Force in Wyoming was the big one that weekend. Week number 9. If you can figure out where Wyoming is, like I said, message me. Week number 9, Northern Illinois at UNLV. That'll be a big one. Week number 10. Army and Air Force, obviously, Commander in Chiefs. New Mexico at Nevada. Be a little tasty matchup. And then Wyoming at UNLV could go a long way in deciding who wins the conference. Week number 11. Nevada at Northern Illinois. That's the best matchup of the weekend. Then we go to week number 12. Northern Illinois at North Dakota State should be an interesting one. UNLV has to travel to San Jose State. A little bit of a trapper there. UTEP at Air Force. Then we get to Thanksgiving weekend, which is only 6 months off, by the way. Air Force in New Mexico. Nevada at UNLV. And then that's it. And then it looks like, I believe, Saturday, December the 5th is when they have their championship game. So there you have it. So I'm going to end it there. Again, thanks to JARROD Prugar for showing up, talking about Penn State football. Stay safe out there, ladies and gentlemen. It's hot here in the Northeast. It's hot. Check on your neighbors, check on your elderly, keep your pets inside. More importantly, stay cool, hydrate. That's going to end it here for me at 7 o'clock. It'll be For What It's Worth talking about politics. I got all kinds of shit I want to talk about. So we'll get into that. But for then, I'll see everybody at the top of the hour here on the Cole County Entertainment.
Lights go up.